President Trump doubling down on his claim there was no collusion between his campaign and Russia. In a tweet today, he said we're now in our second year of the Mueller investigation and still no collusion and no obstruction. He called the probe the greatest witch hunt in American history and said the only collusion was done by Democrats who lost the election. In another tweet, the president acknowledged a report saying the Obama-era FBI spied on his campaign. Now, he referenced federal prosecutor Andrew McCarthy, who said this was at least one spy in the campaign. The president claimed the revelation could be bigger than Watergate. One America's Luke Glaze has more on the investigation.
Director, if you would please rise, I will begin by swearing you in.
It's been 1 year since Robert Mueller was appointed to lead the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. Aside from feeding the gossip-hungry cable news cycle with thousands of hours of content, what exactly has the special counsel done? Surely a year-long probe conducted by the country's top investigative organization, a colossal bureaucratic effort that has cost millions of dollars in taxpayer money and brought the government to a virtual halt, must be producing unbelievable results. Not even close. After 365 days of teasing the public with conspiracy theories, there is still no evidence of the Trump campaign teaming up with Russians to steal the presidency from Hillary Clinton, no evidence of the alleged voter fraud propagated by Russian hackers, and no evidence of any Russian involvement in the hacking of John Podesta or the DNC. It's clear Mueller and his team of watchdogs at the FBI have not spent this year fulfilling the promises made at the outset of this crusade. But still, the FBI and their leftist cheerleaders are boasting about results. They point toward the 19 indictments made so far as real progress. Clearly, charges made against castaway members of the president's campaign team and distant Russian organizations is proof of something. Wrong again. None of the charges against Americans or former Trump advisors have anything to do with the alleged Russian interference. Paul Manafort and Rick Gates, for example, were hit with tax fraud and money laundering. And George Papadopoulos and Michael Flynn pleaded only to making false statements to Mueller's team. What we have learned about the efforts of Russian campaign hackers is equally unimpressive. The facts are, investigators have only produced evidence of a small number of Russian hacks into voter registration databases, and none of them have affected the outcome of voting counts. And contrary to the leftist myth that Russia was pumping out internet propaganda in so-called troll farms to skew votes on President Trump's behalf, the investigation has shown the efforts went almost completely unnoticed by voters, and targeted both parties for the apparent purpose of creating political chaos and destabilizing our democracy. Now, after a year of chasing fabricated bad guys and providing free publicity for an adult film star in their convoluted plot to discredit the president, the left continues to propagate this witch hunt while refusing to acknowledge the many achievements the Trump administration has made in his first year in office. In just 1 year, President Trump has overhauled the country's broken tax system, took steps to boosting trade agreements in our favor, and his efforts on immigration have brought illegal border crossings to an all-time low. Not to mention the hand he had in ending the Korean War, and finally beginning serious negotiations about denuclearizing the Korean Peninsula, a feat that has stumped establishment politicians for decades. After a year of fumbling around in the dark and circumventing the Constitution, if the FBI still wants to cry collusion, perhaps it's time they take a hard look at their own results, or lack thereof, and bring an end to this investigation. Luke Glaze, One American News.
We can use your help. Call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call today.